stock market is a wonderful asset class which has proven its track record in the past. If you look at multiple years or multiple decades earlier, and even going forward also, it's one of the financial asset class where there is a lot of probability to gain, or there is a lot of future in the Indian stock market. Now, when investing into equity, there is always an element of volatility, right? So what is that instrument we can consider as a good hedging instrument? Yes, we all know gold and silver is a good hedging instrument even during the equity downfall, or even to the rupee, or even inflation. As you know, inflation, when the general level of prices increases for the goods and services, that's called as an inflation, right? For inflation, the perfect hedge to balance it out, we have equity investments, we have gold, we have silver investments, all this. Silver as an investment vehicle, and we look at different parameters. And technically also, if you see gold, which was at a breakout 1 year before, right, during March April 2023, gold was at a very good breakout, a multi-year breakout on a weekly chart. A similar kind of a breakout now silver is also reflecting in terms of charts, right? So we look technically, we look fundamentally, what are the returns it has generated, and why gold or even silver acts as a hedging instrument with respect to inflation, right? So anything, when inflation is increasing, if any asset class which is giving more than inflation returns, it can be used as a good hedge, right? So we will deep dive into this. So let me share my screen and let's understand more about investing in silver. First of all, we will divide this entire discussion into 6 key segments. One, what are the key pointers we will be discussing, and what is the historical returns of silver versus gold, and what are the major factors leading in silver increase of prices, and why should we consider silver as a inflationary hedge, right? Inflationary hedge. Why should we consider? What are the silver proxy plays we will be looking at? And lastly, which is a wise investment for investing in silver also, we will deep dive, right? So first of all, let's look at what are the key pointers. First thing, yes, silver and gold are precious metals which have stood as good hedging instruments for a very long period, right? Even during equity downfall, this is one instrument where we have seen an increase during the market volatility, right? Even with respect to inflation, these two precious metals had their own presence. Now, the major difference between gold and silver, if you see, right? Silver, yes, apart from being a precious metal, it also has its more industrial usage, right? Even if you look right now, when you look at the entire economy also, the increase in semiconductors growth, right? When the entire economy upcycle we see, even in electrical vehicles, semiconductors, cell phone manufacturing, right? Silver find its industrial usage. And now the question is why, right? The question is why. Silver is a great conductor of heat and electricity, right? Silver is a great conductor of heat and electricity, and that is one of the primary reason in industrial usage also we find its importance. Now, if we go back to our childhood, right, during our schooling or even during the college, we also learned gold is also a good conductor of heat and electricity. Now, the question to you is, as an entrepreneur, right, or someone who is running an industry, gold being a very expensive instrument than silver, so as an entrepreneur, normally they prefer silver, right? They prefer silver than gold. Even though gold is a great conductor, they prefer silver because of the pricing impact of it, right? So yes, silver, when there is a growth in the industrial segments, it moves up because it's an industrial used instrument, apart from being a precious metal, right? Precious metal. So when the overall industrial growth is happening, when the economy is moving and there is a lot of requirement in key segments, be it like solar panel manufacturing. Yes, in the next decade, even Mr. Narendra Modi ji, right, when they have announced about the solar panel manufacturing, right, electrical vehicles wise, there is a huge growth happening, right? Electronics manufacturing, cell phone manufacturing, semiconductors, right? Silver is one of the thing which is extensively used, right? Which is extensively used. Now, let's look at what is the historical returns of silver. And yes, we compare with gold, right? Now, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 1 decade, right? 10 years, if you look at it, yes, gold has definitely outperformed 1 year and 3 years return, right? 1 year and 3 years return, gold has definitely outperformed. Whereas if you look at 5 years or even 10 years down the line, it was almost similar kind of a returns, right? It was almost a similar kind of a returns. So now we can consider that yes, gold is providing a better opportunity. Now what do we do? Let's go to analyzing silver and gold with respect to technicals, right? Let's look at the charts, right? Let's look at the chart. So now if you look at silver, right? Yeah, if you look at silver, yes. So in the last couple of years, right? If I look on a weekly chart, right? If I look on a weekly chart and I just draw a resistance line, right? If I draw a resistance line, yes. So this level, 75,539 levels, right? Which is almost a breakout from 2020, right? From 2020, it's a good breakout which happened in April, right? Which happened in April. And now, if you look at gold, right? If you look at gold, the similar kind of a breakout during March 2023, right? So 1 year before, from August 2020, this level of 55,347, right? A very good breakout has happened. And you know, from March 2023 to till date, it has had a wonderful journey, right? So the longer the breakout, it is better. So if you keep both the charts of gold and silver together, right? So let me keep both of them together on a single chart, right? Yeah, if you see here, this is on a weekly chart. 1 year before, where gold exactly was at, and if you keep silver on the other chart, right? If you keep silver on the other chart on a weekly time frame, yes. Yes, if you look at it, so exactly 1 year before, how gold had a wonderful breakout, a long-term breakout. Similarly, silver is at those kind of a levels, right? So silver clearly shouts out, it's in a very good demand, right? It's in a very good demand, right? So yes, when 1 year, 3 years wise, it has underperformed than gold. Now there would be some major growth happening. And even because of the industrial usage, it can find its more importance. And what are the major factors? One, when you see an economy uptrend, right? Yes, some of the key data pointers, like be it growth in GST, right? GST collections, when the earnings of the companies are improving and the overall economy is in an upward trajectory, when the GDP is improving, right? When the entire economy is in an upcycle, some of the key industries will also have its growth, right? And silver being an industrial instrument will also see a demand in its increasing. And in the stock market also, when there is a fear of recession, the demand for silver also will increase because it's a good hedging instrument apart from gold, right? Apart from gold, silver has also been a wonderful hedging instrument. Now, with respect to the inflationary aspect, let's look at how gold and silver were able to do better than inflation, right? Better than inflation. Now, if you look at the screen, yes, with respect to the year on year inflation, even in 2023, yes, gold has delivered better returns than inflation. Silver has generated better returns than inflation, right? So, barring 2021, which is an exception, right? Which is an exception. Yes, any financial asset class has its ups and downs, right? Has its ups and downs. So, barring 2021, be it 23, 2022, 21, and even in 2020 and 29, all these 5 years, 4 out of 5 years, gold and silver has outperformed inflation and standing strong as an inflation hedge, right? Inflation hedge. So when the total returns versus gold, silver, or inflation, you look at it, yes, gold and silver are clearly standing out, right? Are clearly standing out, right? So apart from investing in the equity market, right? Apart from investing in the equity market, we clearly see that gold and silver, for example, I'll be looking technically on one very important aspect, right? So what I will do, let me load Nifty 50 here on a weekly chart, and I'll be loading gold and silver also simultaneously. So let me add gold, and on top of it, I'll be adding silver as well. Okay. So when you look at silver, gold, and Nifty 50 returns. So what am I doing? I'm comparing stock market returns versus silver returns versus gold returns, right? Versus gold returns. And what I will be doing, I'll be comparing for the last 5 years. So now, some of the key factors which we need to understand when we compare three different asset classes, right? One, all these three asset classes, be it into equity investing, be it into silver investing, or be it into gold investing, are definitely an hedge over your entire inflation, whatever is happening, right? Now, within these three sectors, or within these three asset classes, definitely equity would be something which will be overperforming, right, in terms of returns with inflation. Now, some of the key areas which you have to look at it is when there is a sudden dip in the market. Maybe if you look at COVID impact, or even the dot-com bubble, or even the real estate bubble, when the entire equity has fallen, during that time, you see silver and gold outperforming because of the inflationary hedge it has, right? With respect to the inflation, it can be used as an hedging instrument, and with respect to equity overperformance also, right? Or equity underperformance, you can use this asset class as a very good hedge, right? Very good hedge. So yes, with respect to inflation, we see gold and silver acting as a very good hedge, and silver being at a very good breakout level, and at those levels, like what we have seen 1 year before, we can consider silver as a very potential instrument. Now, what are some of the silver proxy players? One, if you look at some of the stocks, be it like Hindustan Zinc, yes, Hindustan Zinc is one of the largest silver producers in India, right? Similarly, Vedanta Limited, right? One of the global mining company, right? One of the global mining company, be it into majority of the commodities related, right? So these can be used as silver proxy plays. And even right now in the market, if you see April 2024, right? Metal index is also overperforming, right? Metal index is also overperforming. The sector itself is in a very good limelight because of the more industrial usage, right? These are some of the proxy plays. Now, finally, before we conclude, if you look at what are the investing opportunities in silver, so how do we invest in silver, right? As you always, all of you know, in silver we can always look at investing into physical silver, but yes, there is a problem of storage, a problem of the making and handling charges, right? So instead of handling it in physical terms, the best alternate way would be investing through silver ETFs, right? Exchange traded funds, right? Silver ETFs, silver Bs, benchmark exchanged schemes, right? And what are the advantages? One, yes, you have an expense ratio, but that's also within the range of 0.05 percentage to max 1 percentage, which is a very considerable expense ratio, right? An yearly expense ratio, which is very considerable. Similarly, we have some of the major ETFs, right? We have like ICICI Pru AMC has a silver piece, right? Nippon India has, right? Nippon India AMC has a silver bees. Even HDFC AMC has silver bees. Even UTI has silver bees. So, like, how you invest into gold in terms of exchange traded funds, you can also look into silver as well. Like, if you just enter in your trading view silver bees, right? Nippon India ETF silver, right? NEFT silver is the code, right? NEFT silver is the code. So this is how your silver ETF is. Yes, like from the last 1 year wise, if you see, right, at a very good breakout level, right? At a very good breakout level. So investing into silver in electronic form is more ideal, right? Is more ideal. And this year, 2024, could be a very good investing period for either into silver or even into gold. It can be a very good investment segment, and silver forming its importance even in the industrial usage and also as a good commodity in terms of inflationary hedge find its investment, right? And investing in any asset class, it's preferable to do it in a systematic way, right? Over a longer period. Yes, it can be even done through a systematic investment plan with a period of 1 year or with a period of 3 years and above, right? Preferably investing into an SIP mode, systematic investment for a 3 years and above is more ideal, right? Is more ideal. And you can do it through any of the DMAT account, right? As an ETF or as a B, you can just start it as a systematic investment plan with a monthly investment. Okay. So let me know below why silver as an asset class do you think is more important, right? Just let me know below.